Buenos días, alumnos. Good morning, students, or buenas tardes, good afternoon, or buenas noches, because I don't know what time you're watching this video, but I hope that you're having a great day, and let's get started on our lesson for today. Hopefully, you saw the directions and you already watched the video with Brian and Cynthia twice. If you haven't, stop and let's do that. The first time you look at it, I want you to notice how our vocab is used in the video. They use a lot of it. And also, the second time you listen to it, I'd like you to make some notes about other words that you think might be useful. Okay, perhaps you've already done that. I hope so. If so, continue. If not, stop and do that part first. So in the video, you heard a lot of your vocab, but also some new words. Let's talk about some of them. So for example, if I say, ¿Cómo estás? And you're having a terrific day, you could just say, muy bien, right? Or you could say, excelente. Say it with me. Excelente. Excellent. And then you also notice that when someone new was introduced, the person said, te presento a. Te presento a means like yourself I am presenting to, or I want you to meet is what we would say. So for example, if I was at a restaurant with my husband and I saw you guys, let's see, I know that Aiden and Rowan are listening to the video, so I'm going to use them as an example. If I saw Aiden and Rowan at the restaurant, I would go up and say, hola, and then to be polite, I would introduce my husband. Te presento a Señor Miller. I'd like you to meet Mr. Miller. And because you guys are so polite, you would say in return, mucho gusto. It's nice to meet you. And then Mr. Miller is going to say something back to you. He might say, el gusto es mío. The pleasure is mine. Say that one with me. El gusto es mío. Or he might just say, igualmente. Equally. In other words, it's equal, that it's his pleasure too. Igualmente. Say that one with me. Igualmente. So those are not words that will show up on a test unless maybe it's a bonus or something like that. But the more words you learn, then the more words you have to pull out when you need to use them. And that's a good thing. We'll be writing a conversation in a few classes. We'll start a conversation that we're going to write. And so it's always good to know as many different words as possible so that you can say what you want to say in your conversation. For right now, we're going to start practicing some smaller conversations. And I'd like you to do workbook page 18 and 19. The first one are little conversation prompts, just like one word. Read the directions and it will make sense. But somebody says something to you and you are answering them back. Okay, so think about how you would do that. And then I believe on page 19, we actually get into where maybe we're putting several lines of a conversation together. I want to remind you that when you are writing a conversation, it's almost like a script for a play. You always capitalize the first letter of a word that someone says, and you put a period at the end, even if it's not a sentence. So for example, hola is not a sentence, but because I'm writing it as a conversation, I capitalize the H and I put a period at the end. Unless, of course, I say, hola, in which case I need an inverted exclamation point at the beginning and a right side up one at the end, right? So you decide on that, how it's being said, so how you want to punctuate it. Okay, And that is all for today. I will be posting a homework page. I think it's the next page in your workbook, but look for instructions for that are separate. Thanks, guys. Adios.